So 1 year ago, or approximately 1 year ago, Holly asked me if I would join her in helping to plan this symposium. And I was eager to join and maybe make some valuable additions to the conversation to advance AI and ML and drug discovery. Of course, this is an area I'm very interested in. And I believe personally that it has the potential to accelerate, to reduce the cost of drug discovery, and ultimately to have impact on us all, not only as scientists, but as patients and impact on our families as well. I think it's extremely striking that in the last 5 years, I remember having to do being asked to do a write-up on the different AI/ML companies out there, and I remember being able to fit them all on a single slide about 4 or 5 years ago. In 2021, there was a report that was 90 pages long on the companies that were using AI/ML, and now I believe, based on talking to many companies who are in this space, that we're now at a point where companies that were watching some of the early adopters 5 years ago now realize that they're actually 10 to 15 years behind in their AI/ML. So we have covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about patient-centric ideas for how to drive drug discovery. We've talked about novel approaches to molecular modeling, different representations of molecules, applications to antibody optimization. We've talked about generative models, sometimes not positively talked about generative models. We've talked about learning on cell imaging. We've talked about different ways to bring physics into the equation. And as well, we have also talked about what works and what doesn't work from the different companies and researchers. What's even more striking, though, and that's being a lot to absorb, but what's even more striking is the fact that there is much more research that's ongoing that we didn't touch on, areas that we didn't touch on, including application of AI/ML to clinical trial design, was touched on briefly, I think, early in the talk. Or target identification. So there's many, many more areas, but I think even that is only a small fraction of the ways in which AI/ML will start to impact drug discovery in general across the next decade. So with that, I'd like to give a bunch of thank yous, and hopefully I don't leave anybody out here. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank our attendees, both online and in person. We thank you for your excellent questions and engagement with our speakers. A huge thank you to the organizing committee, my co-chair, Holly Suter, and the other members of the team, Samaya Iqbal, Gail Guo, Wengong Jin, Connor Coley, Erica Caldwell, Marinal Shekhar, and Weimin Yang. It's been a pleasure working with all of you over the last nearly 1 year, and your dedication and attention to detail has paid off with what I think was a very successful conference. So thank you very much. Thank you also to our advisors, Anthony Philippakis, Deborah Marks, and Connor Coley, for their guidance in helping us drive a very exciting and interesting agenda. We, of course, owe a debt of gratitude to the Broad Institute for the enormous support they've given us in hosting the event. Without the incredible resources that we've gotten from Broad and the Broad community, we definitely could not have pulled off this event, so we appreciate it very much. We want to thank the volunteers, mostly Broadies, who have taken their time out of their busy schedules and provided us with the human resources to make this day run smoothly, from registration, from getting people to where they needed to be, and answering all of our questions. A shout out to the technical and logistical support teams, including audiovisual facilities, IT, and our vendors who supported us with food, a well set up space, ticket platform, logo design, and you name it. I'm sure there's many other things that I've forgotten in there. Thank you to our sponsors, XChem, Wuxi, Exscientia, Citadel Discovery, all companies with a deep interest in AI for drug discovery. Your financial support allowed us to make this event everything that it has been. I would like to thank all of our lightning talk speakers and poster presenters for coming and sharing their research with the community. It is through sharing our work that the whole community moves forward. Thank you to the many applicants for our lightning talks. The opportunity to hear a small number of these in presentation form by our lightning talk winners has been a privilege. So thank you to Joshua Meyer, Divya Nori, Rocio Mercado, and Shweta Shea. Know that there were many equally exciting entries that we did not have time to have shared in the presentation, but the event continues upstairs in the atrium and mezzanine, where we invite you to join us to review the posters and talk to the scientists about their research. Finally, our deepest thanks to Andrew Hopkins, our keynote speaker, Regina Bartolet, Pat Walters, Kafir Schreiber, and Carpenter, Stephen Jerome, and Rafael Gomez-Bombarelli. I want to also thank Deborah Marks, who did all the work to prepare for this presentation and then unfortunately had to bow out because of an illness at the last moment. But we know that it takes how much time and effort it takes to prepare for these presentations, so we thank you for your time. Overall, we thank you for your time, scientific input, and achievements that have made this event an incredible learning experience. We look forward to hearing more about your organizations and labs over the coming years. With the success of this year's inaugural event, I'm confident that this is just the first of many. I look forward to chatting with you in the atrium and mezzanine for the reception and poster session. And with that, we close the presentation portion of the symposium. So thank you very much again.